A warm welcome to you all. I am JJ. I'm a life coach and I eat mostly meat.
And I'm Eric, and I'm a novelist, and I eat mostly meat. And we are live with new software that we really don't know how to use still, but we're here to learn and practice. Uh-oh, we got a voice coming through our monitor over here.
It is off.
So this is counter-programming because I know that there's no newsworthy items happening in the news. And we thought, hey, we should entertain people since it's a boring Friday. And yeah, so we're here to talk carnivore, and we got a couple of items to talk about.
I was going to say, we actually do have some big news items.
Big! I mean, they're so big. And I think we should just dive right into the Dancing with the Stars one.
All right,
because
let's do it.
that will get the technology thing passed, and we'll see how it works. So I was flipping through the news, as I do, and I came across this Dancing with the Stars thing. Now, do you know Alex Bersten?
No, but I know Alan.
Alan Bersten. So this is him right here, and he's been on Carnivore, it turns out, in preparation for the next season of Dancing with the Stars. Now, I don't remember who he's ever been partnered with.
Oh, we could have looked that up, but yeah, I don't remember either. He's very smiley, though. When you said his name,
Yeah.
I knew who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this article, it says he's lost 20 pounds in 5 weeks. But I'm thinking he's a Dancing with the Stars pro. Why would he need to lose weight at all?
But he was off season.
Well, yeah.
So,
I suppose.
mean, there's going to be a little bit,
Yeah,
possibly,
right.
of weight gain, especially if you're eating some alternate diet to carnivore.
Alternate.
Like, I'm not sure he's out pounding Big Macs and fries, probably, but
But who knows? He's young. He might be.
he might be. Who knows?
Well, this says, I kind of did it under just not trying not to tell anyone. I found this carnivore diet on TikTok, and since trying it, has so much more energy. Alan gushed about how his body has been changing drastically. I'm so happy, and I've lost a lot of weight, which is insane, Alan boasted. I really didn't expect 50 pounds. That would be 4 pounds a week, by math. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan told the magazine that he feels incredible and has been waking up early every morning to start his day. My house is clean, he quipped. I don't know who this is. And it also goes on to say that he does Pilates, I guess. And the other pro, Emma Slater, told us that Alan has had a major physical transformation.
But listen to the quote here, because I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
She says, he looks very skinny right now. He's got so much discipline, so he's all about that carnivore diet. Now, that leads me to believe she's not totally on board. So I pulled up the Instagram post that was linked in the article that I was looking at to see how skinny he was. He's lean. I have to say, he's lean, but he's ripped. I mean, he's very muscular. So I don't know if I would use the word skinny unless it was sort of pejorative.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, she didn't come out and bash him, but I was like, really? How skinny is he on the diet? Because as we know, skinny can be, but isn't generally a side effect.
Yeah.
Especially for a young man.
So anyway, I thought it was interesting, and we've watched most of the seasons of Dancing with the Stars, and I'll be interested to see how he looks.
I'm very interested. And we were also just talking about this on a recent video or live, I don't even remember, that we don't see many celebrities who are saying, hey, I'm carnivore. So this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Although you were saying that Halle Berry is keto, you read?
I know that she's written the foreword for one of Maria Emmerich's books. So she must minimally be keto.
Yeah.
But
That
I
would
have
make
no
sense.
idea if she's carnivore, and I didn't look.
So I'm looking forward to the next season of Dancing with the Stars. I don't dance. I don't want to dance, but I like to critique them because I am an expert.
I was going to say, we are expert. No, I have danced. I used to own a dance studio, and no ballroom, though. I've never done partnered ballroom dancing. However, you have a couple family members who do.
Yep, I do. They're good at it too.
Yeah, they are.
So that's that story. I have nothing else to say about it.
Well, I'm curious if anyone knows any other celebrities to, if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments as well.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very
right.
curious because it's just interesting, and I think we'd like to see this wave where it becomes more mainstream.
Yeah, we did see that episode of Naked and Afraid,
Yes.
where one of the participants talked about being carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Are we frozen for real or just for fake? We're just seeing that our feed looks frozen, so we're testing out to see if it's correct or not. It looks like we're moving.
Okay, it looks like we're okay.
If you can see us, say something.
All right, it looks like we're good.
Yeah, but anyway, one of those contestants on Naked and Afraid mentioned being carnivore.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a wise decision, except she ended up eating fruit or sour cane or something like that because it was all they could find until they killed an armadillo, which apparently didn't taste very good. And it didn't look like it would taste very good, but what is an armadillo but a giant armored rat, right?
Right. My light just went out. I'm having a day
Yeah, here, you can have this one.
that's not smooth. It's not a bad day, yet it's not smooth in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, I like
It's
going
just
up.
one of those things.
Yeah, a little off. Should we get into it?
We should
Okay.
medicate ourselves with comfort food.
I don't think that's a good
No?
idea.
No. Well, that was one of the things we were talking about today. We had to take a car in, and on the way home, I brought up this topic I was thinking about yesterday, was there are certain times of the year and certain settings that spark like a sense memory that is associated with certain kinds of food that then makes me want to eat that food very badly.
Mm-hmm.
And this happens every season of the year, most strongly in the fall when I want all the comfort foods. But I was out mowing trails on the tractor and something sparked in my mind remembering a summer previously when I used to DoorDash Taco Bell and Qdoba and Potbelly sandwiches and have them delivered with all the chips and all of the extras because you're ordering it on the app, and so it's easy to add a chocolate chip cookie to the order. and then I would take a break from what I was doing, and then I would feast on this food, and it just gave me this wonderful sense of delight because I associated that meal with the environment, the warm summer day, or whatever it was.
And you were usually starving.
And yeah, by then I'd be absolutely starving.
Mm-hmm.
So it got me thinking about those associations. Now, the biggest one for most people is around holidays. We just had Memorial Day, and I didn't have it too bad because I don't have a food association with Memorial Day.
We don't.
Maybe
have any.
4th of July a little bit more is more of a cookout kind of thing. But hey, we're carnivores, so cookouts, that's relatively easy to get through.
We have a daughter, though, that we've raised on 4th of July and Memorial Day when she's home from college.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to do s'mores.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So does Maria Emmerich have carnivore s'mores yet?
Now, it wouldn't be a huge transfer over to a hot dog or something, but
What we do is we take thin slices of bacon and put a glop of cream cheese on there. And then for the chocolate, we use steak jerky. And then we sandwich that all together. And then we eat it. And it's just like a s'more.
just like it.
I'm sure there is no solution for carnivore s'mores. If there is, put it in the comments. We want to know.
Yeah. Now, summer for me used to mean pasta salad.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been off gluten for a long time,
Yeah.
so I don't really have that association anymore. Gluten-free pasta salad never worked either because pasta And gluten-free pasta kind of gets gross. It can't like sit for very long. It clumps up. But also, don't even get me started on cauliflower, because some people say cauliflower, like use cauliflower. I'd never tried that and would never try
No.
that. But that was one of my biggest food associations with summer
Really?
for a while.
Not one of mine.
No, you don't like cold
No,
salads.
cold pasta salads is just the same as not food.
Or potato salad or
Yeah.
coleslaw or
Yeah.
three-bean salad or
Nope.
any cold.
I don't want anything to do with any of that.
You eventually started liking lettuce salads,
Yeah.
but that was a journey.
Now, come autumn, it will be more difficult because there's certain warm soups and bready kind of things that are warm and comforting, and they all give that dopamine hit that is also then associated with the time of the year, and that makes it a little bit more challenging. But I did not DoorDash anything.
Oh yeah, you did not.
I was victorious because what Carnivore does is once you get over some of the maladies you've been suffering chronically from for so long, it is very clear that eating that results in a consequence either 4 hours later or 12 hours later, and for maybe for the next few days. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to have 15 minutes at most of enjoying that meal and then have hours and hours or days of suffering afterwards. And so it was much easier for me to say, yep, I can feel the trigger happening and that kind of enthusiasm for the idea, but that's a non-starter, not doing it.
What did you have for lunch?
Hamburger patty.
Yep.
But it was really good. I was starving.
Yeah.
And that really makes lunch taste a lot better. I recommend hunger as a method to get the food down. And I have always on this channel, I've talked about how I just I'm not liking steak and beef in general these days. But we were just talking about, it just might be I need to start doing intermittent fasting and just get hungrier so that those meals taste better. But some people, they can just eat steak after steak on steak on steak and it doesn't bother them at all. They never get sick of it.
I have not gotten sick of it yet.
You must be better than me at Carnivore.
That's not what I meant.
I know that's not what you meant, but I think it's true. I think you're better at it than I am.
I don't know. I'm shocked that I can eat steak day after day after day with my history of not liking steak back in the day. Yet there's something about it that just, I really do enjoy it still. Yeah, I haven't had many aversions with my carnivore diet. Yeah.
That's good. Now there's another article. I didn't find a link to it, so I can't show it here. But apparently the government, I don't know if it was the USDA or whoever it is, said that there's no strong evidence that processed foods are greater causative of illness and obesity than other foods, which I thought was an insane thing to say, but so it made perfect sense that that was their position. There was the usual outrage on X about it, which I enjoy because I like being outraged. Did you find it?
I found some references. Let me just see. Because I thought one was really funny. So chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah. This is live. Usually you see us recorded, and I just edit all this out. But we do this all the time where we stop and go, what's the point we're trying to make?
Okay.
Okay, what do you got?
All right. Wait, I didn't find. Here's one. Here's a great. So I found one. This is on Yahoo Life. And it is from May, so this month. Not all ultra-processed foods are bad for you. Here's what you should know according to nutritionists. And this was, according to the USDA, processed foods are any foods altered from their natural forms. And it says that not all ultra-processed foods are created equal. Some are nutrient-dense, meaning that they are a source of vitamins, minerals, and other health-promoting components. Now, this is not the USDA that said this, though. But it says, for example, breakfast cereal is fortified with several B vitamins, iron, calcium, and sometimes vitamin D. So prior to fortification, many people were not getting enough of these nutrients from whole foods alone. And this one I love because I used to tell myself this. Let me go back down to where it was. Oh, I've got a really loud keyboard too, so that's great.
We are so prepared.
Yeah.
I think where we're going with this is that it's stupid and probably corrupt. Because there's no reason that you need to eat fortified cereal to get the iron that you need in your diet.
I cannot remind...
Or the B vitamins
where did
when you can just eat a steak.
All right, here we go. Even ultra-processed foods containing added sugar, salt, and saturated fat can still offer nutritional value. For instance, despite added sugar, chocolate milk remains a rich source of calcium and vitamin D, both of which are essential to bone health. So I've shared on this before. I used to have chocolate milk every day, at least once a day. I didn't like white milk, is what I called it when I was a kid. So I would have chocolate milk. And despite the sugar, I knew I was getting my nutrition, calcium, and yeah.
Yeah, well, we didn't know better.
No, we did not.
And now we do.
And now we do.
Which makes us insufferable.
Oh, various studies show that consuming chocolate milk after exercise can promote muscle building and recovery.
Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of bodybuilders would do the chocolate milk after workout thing, and I think runners would sometimes do that after a long distance run.
It has been years and years and years since I've had chocolate milk because I tried it at one point and it didn't taste that good anymore. My palate had changed. Yet, I have to tell you, I have been taking my Element. The chocolate caramel is my preferred one. And I've been blending it with a dash of cream and ice and water. And I've been drinking that because it's warmer out now. And it kind of gives me that chocolate milk
Don't
vibe.
you also freeze it and make it into like a Frosty or something?
No, you keep thinking I do crazy things with it, but I just blend it with some ice and some water.
I see you eating with a spoon.
That's because the ice.
Oh.
The ice does that.
It just goes to show my level of awareness of what you're doing. But I always assume you're keeping a secret that you've got something delicious dessert that you're eating. And
Yeah.
I don't get.
And I'm like, no, it's literally
You
just,
made carnivore ice cream, but it's not carnivore.
It's not carnivore.
Keto ice cream?
It's keto.
It was Kiltz's?
I took a Kiltz recipe and combined it with Maria Emmerich's because we wanted to make it with allulose. And so Maria Emmerich had sort of the allulose slant. So I mixed them up, did a mashup, and oh my gosh. Oh, and we wanted chocolate. That was what else we needed because Kiltz's is not cocoa.
Oh, it's just vanilla.
Yeah. But it was primarily heavy cream and egg yolk. And
I want to eat that and nothing else for as long as I live, but that's not the right move for me. It was the texture was so good.
We used a Ninja Creamy. And yeah, it was really amazing. And we are from Wisconsin. I think this is the land of frozen custard.
Yeah.
So we know good ice cream.
Yeah. It's not something that we should be having on a frequent basis.
No, definitely not. That was our Memorial Day.
Yeah, that was our Memorial Day treat.
And I also made carnivore bread.
Yes.
Over Memorial Day.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
It does not taste like bread if it's eaten by itself, but you can put lunch meat on it and some mustard and have a sandwich. So, and that's kind of nice because in carnivore you don't get a sandwich.
Yeah.
And so unless you make a sandwich out of two meat patties that you then put more meat between it.
You and our daughter would always tease me about having a meat tube.
Yeah.
because I'm gluten free. So sometimes I do just sort of make the sandwich with the meat.
Yeah. It's probably better now than it would have been to me back then when
Well,
I was
yeah.
habituated to bread. But it was kind of sad to see you roll up a lunch meat tube and eat
That's
it.
what you'd say. It was a sad
Yeah.
meat tube.
And Jimmy John's will make a lettuce
Yeah.
sandwich. And Red Robin, when you could get a burger and lettuce bun. Oh, horrible. I ate that a few times way back in the day when I was trying to be healthy. And it's just better not to have that type of thing because it's so crushingly sad.
At this point, in most points, I would rather just have the patty without the lettuce. The lettuce does not really substitute for a bun well,
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
So what's on the menu tonight?
Well, tonight we have filet,
Okay.
beef filet. Yeah.
I like those, generally speaking.
Except I'm going to eat the leftover beef tenderloin roast that you thought tasted like
Leather.
leather the other
There
night.
was something weird. I asked her, I'm like, did you marinate this in something? When I was a kid, we went on a driving trip out west, and I got this at a souvenir shop, a leather water skin, like the pioneers would have had, except for it had a plastic nipple on the end. For
Just
the
like-
yeah, just like the pioneers had. Injection molded plastic. And I remember we filled it up with water so I could have water out of it. And it tasted so bad because it was soaking up all of that leather flavor into the water. And of course, it got really warm. So anyway, she made this tenderloin, and I usually really like it. And there was something like very strange in the flavor. But you made it on the green egg?
Yeah, but I've done that. Like, I made a tenderloin roast last week on the big green egg, and it was amazing. You were like,
yeah. Oh, this is so good.
yeah. So clearly,
Different cow,
It's a
different
different
day.
cow,
Yeah,
different-
but I asked you if you tasted it, and you didn't notice the difference at all.
I did not yet. Mine was slathered with some butter. So maybe that
Hmm.
took care of that.
I don't know if that would mask that weird flavor.
I don't know.
But I am very sensitive to flavors, and you're not.
I'm not as.
Unless it's fish, in which
Oh.
case she can't handle it.
Oh.
But yeah, that's one of those things about beef and steaks is that sometimes you can get a funky steak and it just doesn't taste like like the previous one.
A funky steak.
So I don't know. I don't get it. I just have a sensitive taste buds, I guess.
Yes, you do.
But if I eat a chicken, not satisfied. We did a whole video on this, the mysterious power of beef, where we were like, there's just something about it. If you go without it for too long, the red meat, and then suddenly you have it, it's like, the body is so happy to get that nutrition. And chicken wings and even pork does not cut it the same way.
I think this is a change of topic.
Okay, go ahead.
I think recently that I have found my current sweet spot for my carnivore diet because I have experimented with alternate daily fasting a little bit this year, as in 2024. And what I discovered with that is that when my ketones, my GKI, what is that?
Yeah, what does the GKI
GKI
stand for?
It's from Keto Mojo.
It's blood sugar to ketones ratio,
something.
yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, when I'm in a good moderate ketosis and lower, so on the Keto Mojo, if I'm in the 5 range or lower, my mood is excellent. My brain, I didn't even know my brain was this noisy, but it just comes down when it's amazing. I can't believe it. So anyway, I found that out doing alternate daily fasting. It was like, holy cow, I want this almost all the time. Because sometimes it affects my sleep. That's the bummer. But I want this. So I've not been doing alternate daily fasting more recently. I've been doing about once every 10 days or so, which is good. And then I started pulling the fat lever, and I started doing sort of Dr. Elizabeth Bright's ratio, where she does like 5 ounces of meat per meal with, I think it's 25 grams of a side of butter or fat of some sort. And I was going, okay, this is great. I started hitting that ketosis better, yet I was kind of hungry. 5 ounces of fat, or 5 ounces of meat, 5 ounces of fat would be plenty. 5 ounces of meat left me still feeling a little hungry, even though I was eating more frequently through the day. So I've been doing about 6.5 ounces of meat with about 50 grams of fat on the side, usually a beef fat trimming. And it's 50 grams before I fry it, so I know some of it goes down. And I think I'm hitting the sweet spot. I feel satiated. I feel good. And I've been noticing my brain is quieter and I'm in that level of ketosis I want. So I'm loving that. But it took experimentation. And again, it might change. That's the fun thing about any type of diet, I think, is that your body changes. Time of year changes.
Yeah, I see you eating those fat blobs, and I think I should be eating some fat blobs, but I don't get fat blobs.
You don't get them? What do you mean by
well,
you
you
don't?
make them, but you don't let me have any of them.
Well, I never have made one for you because I've never seen you wanting one or having
I've tried them in the past.
Yeah?
It kind of helps get a steak down when you could put a fat blob with it.
Well, I will make up a fat blob tonight.
Maybe it would help me.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
So I will put a flat
Because
flat
my
blob.
brain is not calmed down. My brain is very noisy at all times. And keto carnivore has had no impact on that whatsoever.
Well, maybe not the noisy brain, but I mean your anxiety.
Yeah, that's
I mean
true.
your thought patterns are
Yeah,
better.
The anxiety is much less, but my focus is not. Great. So, but we talked about this recently. I was thinking, well, maybe I can achieve this level of contentment that you get if I could get into deeper ketosis. And so I had this idea that I was going to start skipping breakfast. And then I would do a workout fasted before lunch to really help get me into deeper ketosis. And the very first morning, I was so hungry, I just ate breakfast.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't convinced enough it was going to actually have any impact, so I wasn't willing to do the experiment. But I really need to write out what the experiment is, because if I write it out in advance, then I'll be able to follow the steps. But unlike you, who can follow Dr. Bright and do an experiment and see how it works, that sounds like a lot of thinking and work and pre-planning. And if there's one thing to know about me, I do not like to plan anything in advance. I don't want anything on my calendar. I don't know what I'm going to feel like an hour from now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to want to do. It's a ridiculous existence, but it's how I've always been. And so maybe you need to help get me on track with eating fat blobs.
That might be the start. Yeah. Yeah. I don't love measuring. I have only started measuring recently because I don't want to be measuring.
Weighing.
Weighing.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
weighing the
my
food,
food. And
yeah.
stuff. I don't like that. I've done it. I had to do it for Weight Watchers way back in the day when I did it after my pregnancy. But I don't like that. And I'm getting to where I can kind of eyeball it now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, when you're eating pretty much the same food almost all the time, it gets really easy to eyeball it.
Yeah, I'm unwilling to do
I get it.
anything like that, and to my own detriment very often.
And I wouldn't recommend anyone start with trying to, if possible, with getting their macros and their weights and stuff. Just move to meat first.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at, but I'm excited to eat the filet tonight, and hopefully it'll be delicious. And I'll try to do a workout to get my appetite going.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
I'm going to do some resistance training. We'll do a long walk with the dogs and get them worn out. And we have a dog, an elderly dog, who had fur problems. And he's been eating way, way, way more meat, red meat now.
Yeah,
And his fur's growing back in.
it is.
It's incredible. His whole back was just the undercoat of kind of this tan fur and this rich, dark, chocolatey youthful outer coat is popping up in little spots. He looks like a leopard.
He's kind of leopard spotted, and then he's got this little patch of the tan fur near his tail. And our daughter gets home from college this coming week,
Yeah.
and she is going to accuse me of shaving that little
spot.
I know she is, but it's not. It's the growth that's come in around
Yeah.
that spot.
But it's just enormous evidence of how powerful giving a species-appropriate diet is, that this 13-year-old dog or whatever he is,
He's almost 13, yeah.
is having this regrowth of fur.
Speaking of dogs, though, I just realized it's the other dog's birthday today.
Oh, he's 6.
He's 6.
And he still smells skunky.
Yeah.
After what, 3 weeks
Yeah.
since he's been skunked?
I mean, it's livable. It's not, but it's still there. I don't know.
Every evening, we're watching TV or something. I get on the floor to stretch and use the foam roller, and then he comes over wanting to be pet. So I pet him. I like him. He's a good dog.
Yeah, he is.
I do not like him right now.
What about when he snuggles in?
That's cute and nice, but when you go, oh, he's so revoltingly stinky, and we've given him skunk solution baths, and it only reduces it a little bit.
And we had discovered that some of it was coming from within.
Yeah.
So we've also, I've not been totally up on the charcoal recently.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to reintroduce
More activated
more.
charcoal needs to be force-fed to the pup.
He doesn't like it. He goes, I wrap it in beef tallow, the little capsule, and he goes, "Pugh."
Of course he doesn't like it. Unless a little piece of charcoal falls out of the fireplace.
That's true.
And then he'll get it and he'll chomp it and he'll chew it up and swallow it.
If we have charcoal in the fireplace, we should just sprinkle a little on the ground
and let him eat it.
and let him see if he'll go and eat it.
Oh, what a weird dog.
They're both weird. Probably all dogs are weird.
Yeah,
You're
they're-
probably at home going, my dog. You think your dog's weird? My dog's weird. Yeah.
So this has been a fun live. I think we're going to wrap up. We are using new software compared to last time. We're hoping that the audio is coming through and that you can actually hear us. Unlike last time when the audio was bad, partly because JJ didn't realize her mic was on her sweater and she took that off at the beginning.
Yeah. So I didn't do that. Today it's right here.
Yeah.
It's on the main shirt. I'm not taking this shirt off.
And if you were here during the part where we switched to a browser window and showed you an article, hopefully you got to see that and that worked.
Hey, can you bring up comments?
I can bring up comments.
Let's see. Can you bring up the comment I did at the beginning?
Yeah. JJ left this comment at the beginning, and look at this.
Oh, getting
Whoa.
fancy.
I mean, it's just like Dr. Barry.
Getting fancy.
That's one of the reasons we switched the software, so we could do that, because the previous software, I didn't know how to do it. It was too convoluted. So we're monitoring the actual live, and that hasn't even come up on the screen yet because it's delayed. So, but I think it's time for us to sign off.
I think so. We do need to have lunch and get those dogs out walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, and we're going to be back with a new video on Sunday morning at 8 Central Time.
Yes. So until then,
Bye-bye.
bye.